switch.
I'll
during
switch
the
it.
middle.
Yeah, I think I can switch it back. What's up? Yo, before we get started with the podcast, I'm just going to show you that we have a way of like switching this around. I was asking Jess before we started if she liked this other way better.
I said no because we look like noodles. Like it's like a little noodle
What does that
area.
mean?
When
You just can't move. Like if I even like
when I see this,
Like a little, and you love to move.
when I see this format, it makes me think of the blow up things at car sales. How they only have this like mini rectangular body, and that's how I feel. I feel like enclosed in
just
this.
too much. It's just not enough space for you to do what you know. So we got to whoa.
That looks like a normal thing.
I just hate it because there's wasted space. There's like all this wasted space down here in the bottom. This almost seems unnecessary. There we go. Star of the show, baby.
Shocking.
Surprise, surprise.
Is this on the podcast?
No, this is not the. We're just doing this for
YouTube
before we get started. I'm just trying to see all the options we have. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this then, right?
Mm.
What do you? I mean,
why don't we just do this?
What do you?
Oh,
I know that's what you would want.
That's what he dreams of doing.
Why don't we just have this? We'll just have that one.
Stupid.
Okay. There we go. Anyway, welcome to the Uncensored podcast. We will now begin the program.
What is wrong with you?
A lot.
Like literally.
If you're just tuning in, and that makes no sense, obviously, for a podcast, but we were talking to YouTube exclusively and we're trying to figure out a new format
for the video.
And
just so annoying.
Go watch our YouTube show. Actually, well, first off, welcome to episode 119 of Kramer and Jess Uncensored. This is our off-air podcast that we do a lot of weeks. most weeks of the year we're doing one of these.
Yeah.
How do we explain the Uncensored podcast though to somebody that's brand new, Jess?
Uncensored is like the close friends feature on Instagram, how you just have a select few people who can see all of your things, and that's basically what the Uncensored podcast is.
We've not been here the last 2 weeks. There's been a lot of life happening ever since we talked to you last. We had a couple birthdays, a couple trips, and we have a lot to talk about today on this show. Let me check.
What did our boss say? I can't see it because my phone is used to record. Yes or no?
He said, if you'd like, I thought you were doing Uncensored today, plus I'm foggy.
So that's a no.
So maybe
that's
tomorrow would be better. I can't do tomorrow either, though.
Okay. That's so crazy.
Just stop.
No, it's fine.
Can you do today?
Yeah.
Today would be better at, we'll say 11:45. I think we have time.
If I was in the noodle, I could like go off to the side and disappear.
Literally.
That's what I'm saying, but now you can't. All right, we're already off the rails. Sorry. Okay. So welcome to the show. Glad that you're here. We do have a lot to talk about. A lot of sexual stuff today on today's podcast. And we're going to start with Jess. Did you almost get picked up by swingers in New York, or were you engaging with swingers? All I know is having something to do with swingers in New York.
Oh, no.
my God.
No. Not swingers in New York. Garage Boy and I ran into the swingers in Maryland.
Oh, the swingers.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought you went to New York and you got hooked up with some other kind of swinging situation.
No.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, then, yes, we absolutely need to talk about this then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our swingers?
Yeah.
Wow. It is such a small, it's literally such a small state, but it's like such a small state. Okay, so let's go back and remind you the story in case you're new to our podcast. Jess, if I remember correctly, you may actually, why don't you just tell the story of what happened?
Okay. Do you want to do like a recap of our trips? Like we've been gone for a long time.
Well, not now. We'll come back and talk about trips in a second. Now you got to talk about this.
Okay. So if you don't remember, when Garage Boy was at the only time that he's left me, the only time that we've been apart in our relationship in the state of Maryland, he went to a bachelor party and Hassan and I went out chilling, like went out for drinks and we're having a good time. And we ended up meeting an older couple and we made friends and they were very chatty. They were very kind. They were very inviting. They started buying us drinks. We ended up getting drunk with them. And then we go to another bar. And during that time, they were very like touchy-feely, especially the woman, like just super like kind of on my arm or touching my hair. At like one point we were like holding hands. And I didn't think anything of it because they're older. They're probably like around my parents' age. Yeah. I would assume. I feel like they're probably in their 50s. And they just felt like so fun and so inviting. So like I just thought I just met.
And so are you.
Totally.
Yeah.
I did not feel in danger. I did not feel scared. Like I thought we were having a really good time. And then fast forward to probably closer to the end of the night to where I noticed that the husband was making like a couple of suggestive comments that I thought were inappropriate at first.
Do you remember where they were now?
Yeah, at one point I think he like commented on my ass,
Okay.
and I was like, I don't know if that's okay. And then his wife was like, no, girl, like you have a great ass, or like you have a great body, like something like that. So I thought like it was because at first I was like, ew, but then she was like, okay, and I was like, okay, maybe y'all are just like that. You know what I mean? Which is like, okay, fine if she's like co-signing. And then I remember when we were walking to the last bar, we were walking through a parking lot, and I was holding her hand and walking with her because she was like really fucked up. So I like also felt like I was kind of like helping her too.
Right.
And then her husband kind of slid in and was like, I want to hold Jess's hand. And he took my hand, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that's really.
And then from that point, it definitely went very like
south fast.
I would just say abrupt.
Snowball to hell.
Like abrupt at that point, you know, and just forward.
Yeah.
And then
you snapped out of it real fast.
Well, no, we're at the last bar, and then I realize I'm sitting in the middle of both of them.
Are you being very loud today?
What am I?
Is she, or just maybe it's just me? Maybe
just
I'm
you.
just maybe
part of the volume that
just
you
with my
have
headphones.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at the bar in the middle of them, and like Hassan is like on the outside. And yeah, you're like on the outside. I'm like sandwiched in between the couple.
I'm at the corner, the corner part of the bar.
Yeah.
Because I had to use the bathroom.
Yes. And then
I'm so glad you were there, by the way. Not that you would have been out alone, but I'm glad that like.
I'm just happy. Yeah, it's way more fun that
that
we could talk about it with him.
For show reasons, I'm glad Hassan was there.
Totally. So at one point, the husband like puts his hand on my thigh, and he was just like, my wife really likes girls like you. And then it was just like.
That's when it clicked for both of us.
Yeah.
I was like, time to go.
Right, because would you say up until that point, was it just like innocent fun?
Yeah.
We're in like how welcoming were they as far as like did you pick up on anything up until that point?
Up until when we was walking to the third bar, when he was like, I want to hold Justin, I was like, okay, flag number 1.
Yeah.
But
the ass thing is weird, right?
But technically that was like flag number 4. So it was towards the end of the night anyway, because I put 2 and 2 together, because when we first met them at the first bar, we was like, they're a married couple. I was like, oh, and Jess was just in the relationship. He was like, how y'all stay together so long? Great sex. I was like, that's technically flag number 1.
Okay, so that's like.
So now when we think about the
now,
night, we're like, oh wait, okay, this like that or whatever.
That should have gave us leeway to, they probably do.
But that's in hindsight. I would say you're right. I would say that would probably be the absolute like, okay, this is going in the wrong direction.
That right there when we was walking to the third bar. Yes,
up until that point they were just open and fun and like oversharing, which is like story of my life, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So then when he said that, I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, oh no, I'm okay. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's fine. I was like, my boyfriend would not like that. And I remember him being like, oh, he won't mind. And then I was like, wait. And I remember, I don't know if you heard me say this, Hassan, but I remember being like, oh my God, like I have to talk about this. And I remember telling him to his face, I was like, I'm going to talk about this, just so you know.
Don't you love, by the way,
when they knew that we worked at a radio station.
Yeah. And I was drunk too. And I was like, I'm telling you, I'm going to talk about this. And he was like, just don't mention my name, whatever. Yeah. So that was that. Right. And then after that, I remember Hassan being like, we got to go. And I was like, yeah. And then we like run away.
So where were you? Where'd you see him again?
Oh my God.
And did they know you? Did you know them?
Oh my God. Okay, so now we are back from New York with my friends, and we're out drinking, and we're at a bar, and we're sitting at a table, and I turn around, and from the corner of my eye, I see a couple, and I'm like, and it's been so long, and mind you, like the last time we saw them, we were drinking, so I have like a faint memory in my mind of what they look like, but not super clear. And I remember just like turning my back to put my purse on the chair, and I kind of got a glance of him, and I sit there and I'm like,
and did you get that vibe of like somebody's looking at me? Oh, it's the worst.
And I'm like, there's no way. Like, no, there's no way. So it's me, Garage Boy, and our 3 friends are with us at this table. And I'm like, there's no way. And I felt like they were looking at me, and I was like, I don't want to turn around, and I can't say anything here because I know if I say something, our 3 friends are going to make a fucking scene. Like, oh my God, like they're going to turn and shit.
How could you not?
Right. And there wasn't a lot of people at the bar. So it was like a clear eye shot of them. They were sitting like we were at a table, they were at the bar, and like there's nobody in between. So they have a clear shot of us. So like if I make it obvious that I know what's going on, I know that they were gonna see that. So then I go to Garage Boy and I'm like, can you
Swingers 10 o'clock.
No, I'm like, can you come with me to the bathroom? And he was
The
like,
women's room together. We can just go.
or like, can you like, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, can you come with me? Kind of thing. Like, just like to walk or whatever. Because I needed to tell him.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't want to say it in front of everybody.
Was he weird about that when you said let's go? Because I think I'd be like, what do you mean?
No, because I was like, can you come with me to the bathroom to go to the bathroom? And he's just okay.
Yeah,
you know, we're like, so we go, but when we go, they actually ended up getting up and like leaving. So it's almost like they were already getting up to leave before we got up, and I was like, fuck.
You think they were like waiting for like?
I don't know if they were waiting. I honestly think that just happened to be like
the time of them
timing of them leaving. I think they were already planning on leaving. So they had already gotten up. So we're following behind, and I wanted to slow down. And so there's 2 different bathrooms at this bar. And I could tell that they were going to the bathroom. So I avoided bathroom number 1, and we go 2 stories down to go to bathroom number 2.
You go home to pee.
I take Garage Boy, and I was like, those are the swingers are here. And he was like, what? And I was like, I think those are the swingers. I'm not like 1,000% sure, but I'm telling you right now, I think that it's them. And he's like, okay, like maybe, but like maybe not. Like, we're drinking, Jess. Like it's all good. It's chill, right? And I'm like, I'm just telling you, I think that it's them. And I didn't want to say anything upstairs because I'm not trying to have like everybody be all fucking crazy.
Swinging drama.
So we go back upstairs. And I see that I like can hear them walking down, or I'm thinking it's them walking down. I just look down at the steps. I didn't want to like have some sort of like awkward interaction.
Yeah.
And I also, just in case it wasn't them. So we're walking up, and I'm holding Garage Boy's hand, and I'm just looking down, and she goes, "Oh my God, sweetie, it's you."
No.
And I'm like,
wait,
oh
hold up.
my
Wait. Is that the same bar where we first met them?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So she's
we're same area.
She's all
That
in.
one.
So wait, so Garage is with you at this point?
Garage is with me.
Okay.
She is all fucking in.
Yeah.
And sweetie, oh my God, so nice to see you. Like hugs me, you know? And I'm like, hey! Like, how are you? And then he's
so long.
Yeah, literally. It's been so long.
Don't you hate?
You guys look great.
Yeah, when you're like trying to avoid somebody, and then when you see that person, it's
so
almost
nice
like
to
you
see you.
overcompensate for like your awkwardness, right?
And
Put
honestly,
that fake smile on.
I was so overcompensating, and I think it was just because I was with Garage Boy,
of course.
because I felt so uncomfortable for him. And then obviously her husband's right there, so I'm like, how are you? And I give him a hug because they're together, and we're in the smallest stairway. So it's like I can't just hug you, but like literally we're standing there, and she's like, oh my gosh, like congratulations, like we're so happy for you guys, like we see your pictures on Facebook, all this kind of stuff.
Oh, I forgot because you added them.
Yes. So, and I forget like what I couldn't even look them up right now, but
you didn't know their names.
I also had no idea that they were still like, you know, like just still following us and still friends on Facebook or whatever. But you can feel the tension of
everybody
of Garage Boy like radiating.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like I could feel
and what do you think that the feeling is? Is he mad at you? Is he mad at them? Is he uncomfortable? Like what's the feeling?
Well, at first I wasn't sure, because I'm like, I know he's not okay. I just don't know what he's not okay
Dude,
about.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if my fiance went up and hugged the guy that was like trying to be a swinger with her, I'd be pissed.
So and you can tell that it's like they know that he knows, and he knows that they know that he knows.
This is like a movie.
So after that, it's very uncomfortable, and we leave, and then we go sit at the table and tell my friends like, like all fucking freaking the fuck out. And I was just like, are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you good? And he wasn't mad at me or anything like that, but he was just like, because he remembers when I told him that the guy was just like, oh no, he won't mind. And he was like, hell fucking yeah, I'm gonna fucking mind. Like the guy that's trying to fuck my fucking girlfriend when I'm not there. Like fuck that. And also for him too, like
It's
obviously
true,
we're like
wrong.
we're reliving the story and everything like that. And I think he was even just kind of thinking about how, you know, like that never would have happened if he was there, as far as like he's not like really open to like talking to other people, and he would have picked up on just like
you two hens out there just
he's like, what would they have wanted? Like, it's cool, I don't know, you get like leave me the fuck alone. He's very much like
you
that.
think he's mad about the situation?
No, I think he's annoyed that like, and I don't want to say get taken advantage of, because honestly, like they were really sweet, and it's a community. Like, people do
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
And so it's not like they were rude or anything like that. It's just like at the end I was like, oh, okay, so this is what you're into. I'm not into. It's fine, right?
Right.
But I think for him, he's mad because from his point of view, it's like they're taking advantage of like my niceness and openness, and like
Right.
I was comfortable, and he thinks that like they were like scouting, and once I was like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
kind of shit. Which I don't want to look at it that way. I feel like I mean, that's what they do. It's chill, you know? It was just very uncomfortable.
So turn it in reverse.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that Garage Boy had gone out without you, and he saw a person that had solicited him to have group sex with him and with her and her husband.
Yeah.
How would that make you feel? I'd be pissed. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. That's a very rare circumstance,
Can
right?
I just say it's a very rare circumstance, and I know that I'm sure it's like it's very different because of like their age and how they are, and
right.
Like,
they're not like young hot people.
Well, but they are
But
hot.
They're hot.
The woman is attractive.
Oh, really?
She's really attractive.
They're
Yo, hit
older,
me that profile. Hit me for that profile right quick.
They're an older hot couple.
They really are.
But they were but they were so nice.
But
you know?
So that's what.
Why didn't you just have sex with them? Honest to God, this sounds like
no.
Like, they're hot, but no.
But they look like swingers.
But I wouldn't say the
No.
advantage part of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think he's upset about the whole like taking advantage of, because technically you wasn't taken advantage of because of the fact that they paid, like literally they paid for everything when we went out with them.
But still, I'd feel uncomfortable.
No, it's an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
That I agree. I think it's more of
to him, he's thinking like, oh, they got her drunk and her guard was down and they were hoping that she would have fell for it. That's where he's coming from.
And low key,
Maybe,
they did.
yes.
In a sense, they were. It sounds like from the outside point of view, they were just. At least they knew, hey, if we get
like
her drunk.
Low key, yeah, we were getting liquored up, Hassan.
Yeah.
We were.
Y'all, I mean, truly, I think that's what's happening. I think I would have a hard time with that too. So I get it,
the
but
thing is, I can't talk too much shit though because
you probably met up with them afterwards, didn't you?
no, because I was with her.
Yeah.
But would you have?
Oh hell no.
Okay.
Why not?
Hell no.
Why not? You're pretty sexually open. I would say that wouldn't like if you walked in, you're like, hey, guess what? I had a threesome with an older white couple. I don't think that I'd be like,
had a threesome with a couple. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
See, exactly. That's why I don't want to like paint them as bad people, because I know people do that.
It's
totally chill.
It's just I've been there, done that, and I don't like sharing. I realized that I don't like sharing. That's why I wouldn't do it.
I just think he just wasn't like happy with it, and he was like definitely giving off the vibe of like, I know what the fuck you did last summer. You know,
shows up with a knife. Well, okay. To be fair, though, in their situation, how else do you solicit for that lifestyle?
Yeah,
like you can't just go to somebody sober and be like, "Hey, would you like to come have sex with me and my wife?" Like that's not going to happen. To be fair, they were just doing what they did.
Exactly,
and it doesn't sound like they did anything. And from what I mean, if you're going to ask about that lifestyle, let's just imagine that you were single and he was single. The guy was single, like, and you guys have been drinking all night, and he wanted to have sex. I mean, like. It would have been presented the exact same way.
Totally.
I don't know that he did anything out of line other than he was just a different lifestyle than you guys did, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it.
I also just think something that's working for them is because they are older. And so automatically, like, I'm like, oh, it's like having a drink with my parents.
Yeah.
So
right.
that's why it's a little different.
Okay. So let's go back to this group situation, Hassan. What was that like? My buddy Dan and I talked about this over our trip, and we're talking about having a threesome, and we're just trying to figure out. No, not the two of us, not the two of us.
Why did we just make the same reaction?
Let me
act like you didn't say that?
Let me clarify. I mean, like us separately with two other females,
right?
Not us together.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
That needed to be clarified. Y'all weren't there for the conversation.
Right.
But we both agreed that we wouldn't want to do one. Even like, so let's say we were dating somebody and they were like, we should have a threesome.
Yeah.
We both kind of agree we wouldn't want to do that because I just feel like it would lead to an uncomfortable situation. Even if you were both into it.
Oh, you mean like after or like during sex?
Any of it. Especially afterwards though, I feel like even if everyone's on board and you're like, yeah, we're down for this, I still don't think you can have sex with somebody else and your partner watches and there not be some level of like uncomfortableness.
Unless that's your lifestyle.
Maybe.
Because there totally is that community
they like
there.
to watch that, you
yes.
think? You know?
But I feel like, so from the guy's perspective,
yeah,
I feel like if you have tried it once, at least, then use that. I think I'm the type of person that you should try things that you're interested in, experiment with it once,
Which is what you did.
multiple times.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He's very interested in it. So
No, I'm not very interested.
wait,
You were
was it,
curious.
were you with a partner? Like, was it somebody you were dating at the time, or is this
Or was
just
it 3 singles?
yeah? What was the? I have to like see the situation here.
One, I was in a relationship. The other two, I was the
You were the
third
side.
wheel.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, that many times. Okay, so let's go to the part where you were
Wait,
in a
he said
relationship.
that many times. Shut up.
Hold up. So you were in a relationship. Take me to that part. So you're in a relationship with somebody.
Mhm.
How long have you guys been together at that point? Because I'm trying to see how like deep this relationship actually is.
It wasn't.
Okay. So,
I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
okay.
So
it
it
was
was new.
New.
Less than
And-
a year.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then you invite a third party to come in. And you
Is that a friend of both of you, or is this a random person?
Random person. That's the thing I will say too. Like if you and your partner, whoever, do a relationship, it's best to do it with the stranger, especially if you're on
Yeah,
a
you
trip,
can't.
because that way
you can't
no
do
ties.
a friend. You can't be like, oh yeah, just bring
no,
your friends.
definitely don't do a
'Cause I feel
friend.
like
Don't
you
do a friend of
Yeah.
a friend. Do a complete random stranger that has nothing to do with any of you.
Right. Like
Yeah.
never
At
see
all.
them again.
And if you do add them on any type of social media, add them on Snapchat, because you probably would never check Snapchat ever again.
Yeah.
Personal experience. Don't ask me. So,
So wait, so you both had hooked up with, it was 3 people,
Mhm.
and did anybody get weird about it afterwards? Because I feel like I'd be like, oh, why'd you fuck them different than you fucked me? Why were you moaning so much? Like, why did you?
No, because
That's
isn't
the
it,
thing,
doesn't
though.
it doesn't it like aren't you doing it to like it's a different level of like satisfaction, and like you're getting turned on in a different way? I'm assuming
That's
when
the
you
thing,
when
like-
you have someone else enter, the situation.
that's the thing. Like you have to have that conversation with your partner. You have to see what they like sexually. Like if one
Mhm.
person like watching other people have sex,
Mhm.
then that's what they will like. If one person wants to say, "Oh, I want to see you," like I want to do
See things happen to you,
right, then that's
Mhm.
another thing. Like is
God,
you
that-
want
and like what you're into.
Yo, that's a different life, man. Like I just and yeah, yo, it's and I know some people that are like that. They enjoy seeing their partner get fucked by somebody else. I don't even. I think, honest to God, I'm so jealous. I think that even if it was another female, I swear to God, and they had like no real. I swear,
But here's
You're
the
like,
thing,
wait,
though. That other person could also help you learn some things.
Nah.
Because literally, because of
this
the
ain't school. This ain't school. Yeah, y'all can go research somewhere else. 'cause
He's-
I'm
he's
no,
not-
not really.
He's
Because
explaining that a different perspective.
So you
Right.
liked obviously you've done it multiple times,
right,
but it didn't. So in that relationship that you were in, do you feel like you came out? It was positive, negative, or neutral experience?
positive, because I learned how to do.
Hello.
Other things.
Okay.
I know how to.
Okay.
Fuck it, I don't care. I know how to do oral correctly
Okay.
for a female.
Ah.
Okay.
It was a learning experience.
Because Jess, you can probably attest, or probably other females who said their partner don't know how to do oral sex correctly to them.
Yeah.
You have to communicate how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You probably think you're the best doing it, but every person's body is different.
Yeah.
Everyone is not going to reach the big O the same way.
Right.
Mhm.
Interesting. I mean, it's not for me. And just to clarify, Dan and I were not thinking about having a threesome with somebody else.
Okay.
That's not how our vacations typically go. They're a little
I'm
bit
just saying,
different.
just do the Eiffel Tower. It's fine.
The what? What do you say? Do the what?
Eiffel Tower.
Oh, the Eiffel Tower. No. See, I'm saying, like, how do you there's so many
Anyways,
logistically.
how the story ended, Garage Boy was not happy to meet the swingers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then did y'all just move on? Did y'all talk about it later on that night or anything?
No,
Nobody
I mean,
brought it back up?
No, the rest of the time it was just all of us talking about it amongst our friends and all that kind of stuff. But like there was no sort of like awkwardness
The
or
second we
anger
got
or
home,
like
whew.
animosity between him and I.
I'd be like, you are not leaving this house ever again, woman.
Oh.
That
I
is
felt like he
it.
was more caught off guard though, because I feel like I think he's part of the shock. Like, damn, it's happening right
Yeah.
now. I'm not ready.
It's
I feel like
weird.
it's more like that though.
It's
It was
almost
that too. Both of I wasn't
Yeah.
ready either. I didn't think I would ever see them again. And I think for him too, I think he just thought it would be a story that happened and he would never
Right.
have to like actually be in it. And then it was uncomfortable too because we were going to different bars and then they were at like one of the bars we were gonna go into. And so like we were avoiding those places so we didn't have like an awkward
like,
run-in.
hey! Again. Hey, how are you? We should
Yeah.
hang out. We should all hook up together, shouldn't we? Like this is totally
No.
the plan.
Yeah.
Lord. All right, let's take a quick break right here. We'll come back. We'll talk about our trips right after the break. New York.
Mhm.
Run it down for me.
Okay, so at first it was like a clusterfuck when we almost like didn't get there.
Yeah, what?
Okay,
Just
it
reading
was
your notes, I'm like, wait, how did this happen? Like everything went wrong.
it was crazy. So the original plan was to take a bus to New York, the mega bus here.
Yeah.
And on their website, literally, if you Google like mega bus, like pickup location, the White Marsh address is going to come up.
Yeah.
And also, even if you go into the website where it does a drop down of like the pickup locations, the White Marsh address is listed.
Right.
So we Uber to White Marsh from Towson, and we're like a little early, but it's like, why aren't there people? Like, why isn't there a line of people? It says to meet in this like parking lot. Like, what the fuck? And at this point, like the bus is supposed to leave in like 10 minutes. So we're not seeing any sign of it. And our friends are in a different Uber, and they're like, so our driver is saying that they used to pick up from here, but don't pick up from here anymore.
Oh, shit.
And the pickup location is downtown. There's no fucking way we're getting to our bus in less than 2 minutes at this point after like
Not from White
driving around, figuring it out. Like, what are we doing? So at that point, like Garage Boy and I are there. We like tell our driver to leave. We have to call like another Uber driver. Luckily, our friend's Uber driver was down to like turn around and like take them back to the apartment.
Yeah.
So that was issue number one of like, what the fuck, you know?
Right.
And then we're like, okay, let's get a rental car. So then we rushed to like get a rental car. Luckily, like that was cool. And that ended up being a blessing in disguise because like doing a road trip with our friends was such a different experience versus like being on a bus and like probably wanting to be quiet or whatever.
Why not just drive one of your cars?
So we all couldn't, with the 5 of us and like all of our luggage we
Oh.
weren't going to fit in my car
So you
or
rented a
Garage
bigger
Boy's
car?
car. Yeah. So we had to rent a car.
Damn.
And we were freaking out because we're like, fuck, we need to rent a car like right now.
Yeah.
So we got lucky. Luckily, that was fine. The drive there was awesome. Well, my friend Nick put in the wrong address to the wrong hotel. So we get there and we get inside and he's like, hey, gives his last name and shit. She's like, I don't see anyone's name. Like, it's not here. And he's like, no, like this right here. She's like, you're not coming up. Like, just super New York. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're not fucking coming up. Like, what do you want? Get out of my face kind of thing.
Yeah.
So then he realizes it's the wrong address. She tells him and then she was like, oh, that's actually over here. Gives him a different address. So we go to a different address that's like 25 minutes away from where we are. And the only reason why it's 25 minutes away is because of traffic.
Yeah. Not surprised.
So we get there, that's the wrong fucking address. So I don't know if she made a mistake or if she was just annoyed with him and fucked him over and gave him a wrong address. So then when we finally have the correct address to our hotel, another 25 minutes because of traffic. And then finally we get to the right hotel. So after that,
damn, that's a hell of a morning though.
yeah, it was crazy. Still super fun, but just like kind of a shit show, So we get there, and honestly, like it was so cool sharing that experience with our friends. It was their first time there.
Well,
ever.
you were kind of, we talked about this last episode. You were kind of worried about it. You were kind of like, I don't know how it's going to be. I'm not sure this is the right vibe, the right people, like all that.
Yeah, because we are all friends, but they are definitely closer to Garage Boy.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't sure like how the dynamic was going to be. And I've never done a trip like that with them. I've never just like been by myself with them or anything like that. And I wasn't sure how that was going to go. And it ended up turning out really fun. And I was talking to Kramer off the air how like on one of the days I had taken the back seat onto planning because all the other stuff like I figured out and I scheduled for us.
Right.
And I think in just kind of like being insecure about the fact of I didn't want them to think I was just like doing everything that I wanted to do and like picking like whatever,
Sure.
Even though it's your birthday.
Well, yeah, but it was also his friend's birthday too. But not only that, but it's like I just didn't want them to think like, well, I'm picking this place to go and this is where we're going,
Right.
kind of shit, you
Right.
know?
Gotcha.
And when I took the back seat, I noticed that like they just didn't have any sort of direction and like couldn't make a decision and pretty much
You're like,
wasted
see,
a
I
lot
told
of
you you
time.
needed me. Now what?
Or the things that they wanted to do just was not prepared for and did not do the things they needed to do in order to go to those places. And so now I know, kind of thing. And what is interesting, there is definitely, and like what was cool is to see Garage Boy kind of like take the driver's seat a bit. Cause that was a conversation him and I had together to where like, I don't think that it's like my place to be assertive in certain situations. And I don't always want to be that person.
Right.
And like, I want support from him on that just because he can be more on the quiet side.
Right.
And so I just wasn't sure how he would react to certain things because he is closer with them too,
So
Mhm.
all things considered with your whole, because we're kind of running out of time, with your whole
Okay.
New York trip, give it a grade.
Oh, like A.
Perfect.
Like-
other than like the mishaps.
Yeah, honestly, like one of the best experiences that like I think all of us will remember.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I was a little
I was really
worried. 'Cause I
thankful.
felt like you were going into it a little not so pumped about it, having fears and apprehensions. And especially with it being your 30th birthday, we put so much pressure on these days, these
Or
milestones.
just being excited for.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Well, good. Well, I need to tell you the uncensored version of the massage parlors.
Yeah.
I really wanted to hear that.
Yeah,
I
well,
really
Basically a
did.
brothel.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'll tell you this as a teaser: is that prostitution is completely legal in Costa Rica, and that came with a whole bunch of adventures as we went through our week over in Costa Rica. But we'll talk about that next week because we have to go meet with a meeting in 12 minutes. So, love you so much. Thank you for listening to the show. YouTube, how are you? Melissa is here, and Celia. We see you guys, and Tina.
Hey.
This Quit Diggity Gaming. Erica is here. And thank you so much for joining the show. We do the show live on YouTube every Wednesday as well, around 11 o'clock Eastern. If you want to watch, we would be happy for you to hop on. Jess, where we find you?
Just do it. JESSDUITT, and you can follow my wedding subscription.
Hassan?
You can follow me at StanWillie2 on all social media platforms.
And I'm that guy Kramer. The podcast is Certified Mama's Boy, but you can get you're like, what's the prostitution story? You can get like the Cliff Note Mom version of it on Certified Mama's Boy from today. All right. Love you guys. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. Love you.